Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Anthony. This is your Wrexham reaction for match day 2 of the three-legged tour down under. Wrexham 1, Sydney FC 2. And I have to say, the mood has changed completely, and not just because of the loss, because as you can see on the thumbnail, Ollie Rathbone went down before the first half ended, and now he's been taken to hospital for an x-ray on his ankle. So concerns are high. I just listened to Parkinson's interview. I will run that through, and we'll do a little bit of a talking through the game. But sorry, my camera is fuzzy. Don't know why. Anyways, thanks for coming in. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the Local Pundit if you haven't already. On our way to 3,001. We're going to do it by the start of the season. And we're going to get there with this awesome, fantastic community. There's one of them right there. Wayne Evans, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Let me just try to reset this here. Come on. All right. Well, that might have worked. Wayne, how are you? Yes, it is a loss for Wrexham. Honestly, I really don't care about the loss. Actually, score-wise, we care about fitness. We care about the energy levels, and we also care about, most importantly, Ollie Rathbone. Now, let's start with the game overall. The starting lineup was as such. It wasn't. It was a good lineup, I thought. There it is, right there. Let me just bring my face back in here. Not that anyone wants to see it. What's going on, Welsh Techie? How you doing? And PCH Scuba, behind bars, everybody here. That's that starting lineup. Danny Ward, Aaron James, O'Connell, Lewis Brunt, Brian Barnett, George Evans, George Dobson, Rathbone, McLean, who's the captain, Harry Ashfield, and Ollie Palmer. Yes, I said Ollie Palmer, and I'm going to talk about Ollie Palmer too, and not the way you think I'm going to talk about it, as I have been in the past. Jesus, Red Passion has gone into overload. Oh, geez, here we go. Give us the top line of that too. But as you can see on the bench, Burton, Scar, Clearworth, O'Connell, Purvis, Mendy, Revon, Longman, James, Lee, Moore, Rodriguez, Marriott, and Edwards. No Hardy and no Sam Smith. Okay, but let's take what is going on with the camera here. This is terrible, unbelievable. God dang it! All right. So is it going into, let's talk about the game first of all. Okay, the starting lineup was fine, okay? He wanted to give the starters 60 minutes out. It was 60-30. We talked about that. We thought he would do 45-45. But that group right there, of that group, I thought that George Evans played amazing in his in a central defensive midfielder, kind of dictating play. I thought he did really good. Ollie Rathbone was putting himself about as well. And Dobson was getting himself in there. And Aaron James made a pretty good thick of it as well. Had a nice header at the back post to keep them from coming in. And but I think the standout was James McLean pumping down that left side. Actually, it led to a free kick and to our opening goal. Put the ball in the mixer. It was an own goal, but yet nonetheless he earned it. And it was we thought it went off Brunty at the start there, but I'll say, our energy levels were there. Sydney FC were competitive. They weren't just here to make up the numbers in front of 40,000 fans, by the way. Congratulations to all the traveling fans and traveling support and the locals there too. And Sydney FC were not there to make up the numbers, and they proved that in the way they played and the way they came after Wrexham. So fair play to them, and they got the W. On our side of things, we didn't look as crisp as we did in the opening game against Melbourne. But they're in their preseason too, and they're still without some of their star players, i.e. Douglas Costa, and they're still in their preparations as well. I'll say this too: Danny Ward, a good keeper. His distribution looks good. He looks very confident back there. It seems like he's going to slot right in. And I don't know where AO was. Maybe just give him a break. But I'll say. It's going to be a competitive for that goalkeeper. I know someone's going to think we're crazy, but it's going to be competitive back there with Burton, Danny Ward, and AO. I'll tell you this: I will not feel bad. I will not feel like we have a drop off in any way, shape, or form with our goalkeepers. Danny Ward put himself about, yes, for the goal. The goal was not his fault. It was right after the Ollie Rathbone injury, which I'll bring up in a second. Very concerned about that. It was a corner. We just made the sub for Rev. Rev came onto the midfield, by the way. He also he came to the midfield, which I thought was a very interesting move because Maka was pushed out to the left. And so was Mendy, because Mendy was also pushing left wing back too. Came in, free header down. Danny Ward got down really low. Strong hand, kept it out. And initially, and then it was a follow-up there by Popovic, I think his name is. Popovic to equalize their goal. Yes, to equalize against us, and he took it very well. He took it very well. It's a young side. Yes, it was. I think it was Ward. No, not Ward. Grant, who headed it down with the keeper saved by Ward, and then Popovich was the one put it in the back of the net. I'll say this: our levels weren't down. We're down a little bit, but enough to win the game, probably. But we were just not as sharp. I think in that first half, I think the Ollie Rathbone going down kind of put us off a little bit. It didn't look like much when he went down. Speaking of the Ollie Rathbone injury, it didn't look like much, but then he was holding his leg and he was in a lot of pain. He came off the pitch. I think it was about the 42nd, 43rd minute. Limped off the pitch. Got some treatment from Mulholland. Ken, who was at the ground, said that as soon as he went down, Parkinson stood up off the. I think he was on the bench, leaning against the bench, and he went right over to him. And not good. It's worrying signs. Parkinson's just said in an interview, basically, he went back. Ollie Rathbone went back into the dressing room, and it immediately swelled up. And they sent him to the hospital for an X-ray. Now, we don't know what's going on. We think it's an ankle injury. Could be just he rolled his ankle. We don't know. Let's not speculate. But he is at the hospital getting an X-ray on it. So, let's hope everything turns out okay. It's not something long term. We'll just have to wait and see. And if it breaks, we'll let you know as well. We'll definitely report it. I'll say also, too, I want to point out Harry Ashfield and Ollie Palmer up front, too, in that first half. Harry Ashfield pressing a lot. Palmer had a better game last game, but still, he had some very nice moves up top, just holding the ball up. Not as good as he did against Melbourne, but with I don't want to call it the injury. I'm going to use the word crisis, but it's not. We have a problem up front right now. I know preparations are happening. We still have time to get players in, but Parkinson's also said, all right, Sam Smith is behind. Okay. He hasn't played. He hasn't been playing much. Sorry. I don't think he hasn't played a minute. Sam Smith hasn't played. And J-Rod had come on and he had a foot injury. And he said tonight after J-Rod came off, he was still feeling the issue in his foot. So we got to keep an eye on that. And additionally, Mo Fall still not back to full fitness. He had surgery. He had surgery on his leg. Also, I think similar to what Callum Burton did. We have and also yes, our new signing, Ryan Hardy. He took a knock to the head last game as well. He took a knock to the head last game as well, so he's not playing. We have a little bit of a striker crisis right now. We do. We haven't brought anybody in, but we have a little bit of a striker crisis right now. At least getting back up to full fitness because we're about 3 weeks away until we play Southampton away. Yeah, think about that. And I'll say this right now. As of this second, right now, I said it last time out after the Wrexham reaction. Ollie Palmer, I don't think is going anywhere. Settle that in. Put that in. Yeah, put that in. You never know how things can change just like that in the football pitch. And granted, we might look great in our daffodils, but still, you got to go out and put a shift in. And I think Ollie Palmer is making a statement for himself. I'm not saying it's the best option, but it is our option right now, and we still have time. So don't get panicky, but you got to look at the situation, what's happening too. There's talk about 2 players coming in. I don't know if that's a striker. Some say it's Lewis Brunt. Some say it's Beck. We don't know. But this is just the flip. I think the script has just changed a little bit if Rathbone has just gone down. And with our strikers getting back up into form, you just have to keep an eye on all this stuff. You just have to keep an eye on all this stuff and things we got to talk about. And, I trust Parkinson. I trust that they're doing work behind the scenes to bring people in. But between the midfield, we have the options, but strikers up top. Okay, let's get these guys back. Let's get them back to full fitness. And all these games, by the way, as you know, are about fitness and getting back to the levels where we need to be, showing effort levels. And, the score doesn't matter. And the score really doesn't matter now that we know that Ollie Rathbone, our engine room, the hamster, went down and had to go to have an X-ray. What say you in the chat? Red Passion's going crazy. And Welsh Techie says, "What's up?" Burton had a stinker. Let's take on the goal. So, 1, 2, 3 XYZ. Let's take on the goal real quick. So he did make changes at the 60th minute, and it was wholesale changes. Clearworth, Rev stayed in. Mendy came in. Just leave it at that. Burton did come in for Ward. Scar came in. There was a lot of confusion back there between Scar, Clearworth, and who else was in there? Who else came in? I know Scar, Clearworth, and who? Am I losing my Scar, Clearworth, and who else is at the back there? Oh, O'Connor. Sorry, Stash. I saw O'Connor. I'm thinking Stash. There was a lot of confusion in the back there. We got carved open a couple times there. Scar was yelling at the midfield. The midfield was yelling at Scar, and the Burton was yelling at Scar. All this shit, which led to their goal. And you got to give credit to where credit is due. We were caught out for that goal, and it was a great goal by the youngster there too. I think he just his name is what's his name? What's his name here? Lacey. Lacey, the substitute, came in and put the ball in the back of the net. It was a great strike. Burton did get down, did get a hand on it, but it wasn't enough. That ball goes at the back of the net, and people say that he could have done better. What else could he have done? Seriously, I think Max should have pushed out a little bit further. Max put his hands behind his back and went down and should have went at him. But we did get carved open. We left ourselves open at the back there too. But the rest of the team, I will say, the rest of the team was okay. We weren't sharp enough as we should be, but they had 30 minutes and they were trying to press up front. Elliot Lee tried to put himself about. Marriott, okay. Listen, we got to get back up to fitness, and this is what it's all about. And I think everything was washed over with Ollie Rathbone going down. John says, I wouldn't worry too much in regards to results as fitness match. Only thing that was clear is there is a lot of business to be done to make the team capable of staying up at the championship. Yes, we need to do a lot of business. I totally agree. We had the great Velvet Hammer, Mark Griffiths, on with us as well. He was fantastic for the watch along, and he said the same things. He still thinks there's 5 or 6 players to come in. So we will turn this squad over, but as of right now, we are not ready yet. And that's just the facts. We're not ready yet to compete. Wrexham playing without strikers, capable of putting the ball in the opponent's net, would seem to be a problem. Yes, there was no creativity in that second half. No creativity. I will point out this: Ryan Longman had a great game. Getting the ball in. I thought Barney got a couple good crosses in, but Barney still has one move outside, get the cross in. When he does get that cross in, it's beautiful. But we need a little bit more balance there. And Ryan Longman, yes, I don't think we created a ton of opportunities today, but Longman is an absolute stud, and we got to get him on the ball. I find it interesting, though, that Rev was playing in the middle of the park, too. Let's take that on, and let's hope Ollie Rathbone is okay. Everyone's going to be crying about Mullen. Chris Wolf says, where are the new players? I don't know. And we played like a team with heavy legs from a tough preseason. Yeah, Matt, that might be travel. You know what I mean? So that could be travel, jet lag, but we did not look up to snuff. And I'm sure you'll talk about it on your pod tomorrow and go through that. But yeah, we did not look up to snuff. And second game of a 3-leg tour. Thank God we get back. Hopefully we do have another preseason game scheduled before we face Southampton, but there's still a lot of work to do. And in the interview, listening to Parkinson, he sounded like a man concerned. And he said the dressing room afterwards was very quiet. So I think it's more about worrying about what's going on with Ollie Rathbone than obviously the result. But yeah, Longman and McLean looked good. Even everyone else, meh. Yeah. And Burton should have saved the goal, Matt said. He'll be disappointed he didn't get a good hand on it. He did get it. I thought that ball could have went wide. Could have went wide. He did get a hand on it. It dipped just at the right time. I said it was a great strike. You got to give the kid credit. But you're right. Any goalkeeper would say I should have done better. So I half agree with Matt. But a stronger hand would have pushed that out. But still preseason. We got to give him a little. And he has come back from an injury, so we'll give him a little bit. But let's see. Agreed, Matt. Once he gets a hand to it, he has to save it. That's old school talk, I believe. And Lacey's family are Welsh. They're on holiday in Wales, and we're at the game. Oh my God. Okay, and he scored his goal. The lack of creativity in the middle of the pitch was clear. It's a real area that needs to be addressed. Yes, it is. And Burton looked like nervous National League keeper. Listen, the camp they traveled down. It's got to be a little jet lag or whatever, but they did look like it. I'm not trying to make excuses, but we're in prep time right now. We're prepping for the championship in Southampton. And we got to get better. We got to bring players in, and this is not good enough at this point. Fine, yeah, we had a 3-0 victory over Wellington, but I'm not going to get crucial on not going to crucify anybody, but it's all part of a process. It's part of a process. So take that on. There is a cloud over it just because of the Ollie Rathbone injury. We are waiting on that. But, let's see. He did look pretty lively before he went off. He had a couple nice moves in the middle of the park. Rathbone he did, but we're not there yet. And if we were there right now, ready for the championship, I'd be concerned. So I'm not overly concerned. It's kind of like a fighter getting ready for a fight. There's timing. There's things that have to happen to get there to be ready. We still have time. Players need to come in. Some players will probably go. Some players, to me, I'm not going to call out certain names, but you can probably figure it out, are not. It's good to have depth, but they're not ready for what we need to do if we want to compete moving forward. Yes. And I would break the bank on a creative midfielder. Should be the biggest. I agree with that too. 3-0 against Wellington. Doesn't matter. I want no injuries, and I want us to go and do some business. Will we do business between now and the end of the tour? Remains to be seen. Parkinson talked about 2 players possibly coming in, like I mentioned earlier, but they're away with their teams. We shall see. But worrying times to know that our striker situation with several injuries at this point and lack of fitness, and Ollie Palmer's up top. I'm not being mean about it, but that's all we have. What else are we going to put up there? Edwards, and he's a youngster as well. So just keep all that in mind. Let's keep an eye out what's going on in the middle of the park. Like I said, if anything breaks, we'll do it. We'll break it on the show here. But up at 2:30 to watch that, happy to do it. Slept for a few hours afterwards, but just watch this space. Lose 2-1. Don't worry about the score. We got to get our levels up. And I will say Parkinson looks like a concerned man, but he's been here before. It's all about a process. All about the process. Moneyball, baby. And on a good note, the pitch is getting stitched. There you go. That's a good. Let's leave on that good note. So smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the local pundit. Share it out to everybody. Remember Champ Chat this week. Others are coming in, as you can see. Doing a lot of championship talk too, which is going to be great to know. It's going to be great for the rest of the season to get to know the rest of the league, and for the call-in show that we're going to be doing as well, the championship call-in show, which is going to be awesome. So get your likes and subscribe on that, and become a member if you want to too. And on a good note, where's Sam Smith? He has missed 2 games. Did he have an operation on his calf? Someone said. I don't know if that's true, but he's not ready yet. I think he might have had something on his calf, but don't quote me on that. Actually, Matt Al, I just call him out. Matt Al said he had something removed on his calf. I don't know if that's true or not. We'll look into it. I don't want to put rumors out there, but he's not ready yet. Okay. Rathbone, the immediate swelling is bad. I broke my ankle. Happened to me too. I'm not saying he broke his ankle, but you never know. Leap and Sarah, thanks. Hope you stay alert today. Yes, actually, I had to drive back to LA today. Smith with an unspecified injury ain't great either. Well, as soon as we get specification of what his injury is, okay, but he's not playing yet. Hasn't played a minute. So anyways, thanks for coming in, and just keep an eye on Ollie Rathbone's x-ray on that bombshell. We'll see y'all soon.